Hi everyone, this is Almeen from Dental Chic, and today we're going to be talking about the atraumatic restorative technique filling that people don't know about yet. So I'm an oral hygienist, so I don't do traditional fillings, but I am allowed to do atraumatic restorative technique fillings. And the best part of these fillings is they are very non-invasive, they're usually not painful, and they're very affordable. But when you look at a tooth, once the decay goes so deep that it's into the nerve of the tooth, that's when you need a root canal or you need to extract the tooth. So the atraumatic restorative technique is really only for very shallow lesions, mostly in the enamel. Even if they go into the dentine a little bit, it's still possible to do the atraumatic restorative technique. So rather come early, don't wait too long, because once that decay gets in here, you have big problems and we don't want that. So basically how the atraumatic restorative technique filling works is, if this is your tooth, that's the nice part, and then this is the rotten part, the decayed part. So please come before your tooth looks like this, because this tooth needs to be extracted or root canaled or something. I don't think that this is viable for an atraumatic restorative technique, but for demonstrative purposes, here we go. So with an atraumatic restorative technique, we don't use a drill. We use something called spoon excavators. They are very tiny little spoons. So I'm using my big spoons that we eat with today to show you how it works. So we don't drill. We basically scoop out the worst of the decay. Okay, I call it the porridge. It's the very soft, soggy decay. We scoop out, scooping, and this is basically how we clean the cavity out. Okay, we use a variety of sizes. So once we get here, we'll use a smaller little spoon excavator until the tooth looks a bit better. Okay, so this is usually not painful for the patient, and obviously we're very gentle. So now you have your cavity prepared. We've only removed the porridge-like decay, but we left behind the spongy dentine. Dentine is the material that's most of the tooth, and it's underneath the very hard enamel. So the dentine is usually affected by decay, and then you get the soft stuff that's really just rubbish. You need to get rid of that, and then you probably have your affected dentine that's spongy. So we can actually still save that with a wonderful filling material called a glass ionomer. So today I am using Flexi Sand to represent my glass ionomer filling. What makes a glass ionomer filling so special is that it releases fluoride where you stick it onto the tooth. So that really remineralizes spongy dentine. It helps to calm down the nerve, and then you can actually sometimes save the tooth from further damage. It's also a very nice material because it chemically bonds to the tooth. So you usually don't have to etch and prime and bond and all that stuff before you put it in. It doesn't mind if the tooth is a little bit wet still, so it's ideal for little kids where it's very difficult to keep the field completely dry. And it's quite inexpensive, so I mean, what's not to like? So what I do then, after I've cleaned out all the porridge and I've left behind the spongy dentine, I'll start packing my glass ionomer filling. I don't need to do anything else. The filling does it all for me. So I'll pack this. I don't think I'll ever do such a massive glass ionomer filling because glass ionomer is not as strong as traditional composite, but it has all those other little benefits that we're talking about. So it's a lot like playing with clay. I'm happy to have 2 little girls that I play clay with every day because it helps me practice my craft. And then what I do is I put a little bit of Vaseline over it to smooth it and to seal it. And then I have the patient bite down a little bit. It has kind of a limestone kind of texture. So if it is in the occlusion somewhere, making contact when you bite, it'll start wearing away there, but it'll stay where it's supposed to stay as well, which is fantastic because then we don't have to spend ages testing your occlusion with articulation paper, going bite, 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 and then polishing it off and all that jazz. So there you have your atraumatic restorative technique filling. That's pink in this case. It's usually more tooth color or white. What makes this so nice is that because we don't drill, we usually don't have to inject, which is fantastic for people that are very scared of needles and for little kids. It's also very affordable. The medical aid pays about 230 Rand per tooth. And then you have to put the consultation on top of that, which is about 200 Rand. So you're looking at 500 Rand max. I think that's fantastic, but you should be the judge of that. The real trick with teeth is to try and prevent. Prevention is better than cure. So visit your oral hygienist at least once a year so that we can check, we can clean, we can address issues with toothbrushing and flossing, high plaque indexes, soft tissue diseases, anything like that. We can see it immediately and then we can either refer you to a specialist to help you with that, or we can start treatment right away, or we can just help you get to that point. The longer you wait with a tooth like this, the more money it will cost and the more pain it will mean for you. And that, in a nutshell, is the atraumatic restorative technique. Call me.